So, it's another day, another accusation of bigotry and racism towards the Star Wars fanbase due to the Acolyte's failure. It looks like another actress has come out and started calling us all kinds of names and blaming us for the failure of that crappy Acolyte show. So let's jump into this article, let's break it down, let's see what she had to say, because this is going to be quite fun to dive into, I think. So, let's get to it, guys. So, this comes to us from Cosmic Book News. Where are the racist Star Wars fans claimed by Jodie Turner-Smith and Glamour Mag? Obviously, Jodie Turner-Smith, one of the witches from the Acolyte show. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
Power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
I'm feeling a bit wild today, guys, so do excuse me, but yeah, that is literally going to go down as the worst piece of dialogue in any show, period, regardless of it being Star Wars or not. The power of many. Anyway, in a new puff piece aimed at blaming the fans for the major failure of the Acolyte, Jodie Turner-Smith in Glamour Magazine, similar to what Amanda Stenberg spouted off in her video, state that the cast were attacked. Amanda Stenberg blamed fans for the cancellation of the Acolyte, stating she wasn't shocked. Quote, for those who are aware, there has been a rampage of vitriol, which faced since the show was announced. When it was just a concept that no one had even seen, she said. She went on to place blame on those who she believes were responsible for the negative reaction, citing a rampage of, I would say, hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol, prejudiced hatred, and hateful language towards us. Don't get me wrong, there probably is corners of the toxic fan base that sent bad messages that were maybe a little bit, racist in some degree. I've seen it online to small degrees, but it's no way in part like the large majority of the fan base that are doing this, but they want to pick on that small corner of the toxic fandom, and then they want to use it as a broad brush to paint everybody as this kind of like ultra conservative racist kind of fan base, and it's the reason why Star Wars is failing, and that's kind of what they're blaming everything on at the moment, and it's a really bad way to go. Every single time an article like this comes out, it's damaging the Star Wars brand further and further. It's further kind of picking up the spade and kind of burying it, and yeah, it's just not looking good for the future of Star Wars at this point, especially with the actors and actresses coming out and making these ridiculous comments. So, again, that was the actress there, one of the witches, obviously from the series. So, what did the Glamour Magazine article actually say? So, Glamour Mag continued to spin, adding to the narrative. They said, the show was unceremoniously cancelled, alleged due to low ratings, but in the weeks leading up to a season finale, the cast faced relentless torrents of racist abuse online from so-called fans who couldn't handle a black actor leading a Star Wars series. It had absolutely nothing to do with the colour of her skin. The show was just so damn bad. It was written bad, it was acted bad, the production value was bad, the cinematography was bad, the episode runtime was bad. Like, I can't say enough bad things about the show. Not just because of Star Wars, I'm not jumping on the bandwagon, but literally everything about it was so bad. It was handled so badly. The woman who was the showrunner behind this and directed these episodes, wow, like, I had no idea what she was thinking. So the article also points out that Stenberg said further, noting, quote, it's an infuriating cycle of actors of colour who are cast in Star Wars projects and immediately made vulnerable due to vicious bigotry. Like I said, there are probably very, very small numbers of people who do this kind of thing. I'm not saying there's not. I'm not going to brush it under the carpet, and I'm not going to say that it doesn't happen. But again, using that very, very small minority of the toxic side of the fan base to paint everyone with a broad brush and say that it's the majority of the fan base is absolutely ridiculous. They just can't admit that their show was a failure and it was just bad across the board. So let's jump into this. So remember that time when Star Wars had to edit out John Boyega from their poster in China? So obviously we have the poster here on the right, the original poster that was used, and then on the left we have the poster that was used in China. They edited out John Boyega, the only black guy on the poster in China. Disney edited out the black guy from their poster. So before they jump on their high horse and shout bigotry and racism towards the fan base, Disney themselves edited out the only black guy on the poster in China because they were afraid of what the Chinese would say about it. So, you know, Disney wants the hard look in the mirror. So, Star Wars also commented the official page, there are more than 20 million sentient species in the Star Wars galaxy. Don't choose to be a racist. Yet, they edit out the only black guy on the poster in China. So, make of that what you will. Let's keep going down. What's also interesting is that the article points out that John Boyega has been outspoken about his experience with racism. The article forgets to mention Disney wiped Boyega from the Star Wars poster released in China. Again, there we go, guys. On the right, you can clearly see him there with his lightsaber. And on the left, the Chinese version, you can clearly see that they edited him out of the poster for fear of what the audience or the fan base would say in China. And what did Jodie Turner-Smith say? So this actress here, the power of many, the power of many. Like, even to this day, like, that phrase, like, the power of one, the power of two, the power of many, like, I'm just, it plays over in my head sometimes when I think of Star Wars, and I'm just like, man, what were they thinking when it came to writing the script? Jodie Turner-Smith played the leader of the Witches in the Acolyte. She also blasts Disney for their lack of response. Quote, they've got to stop doing this thing where they don't say anything when people are getting fucking dogpiled on the internet with racism and bullshit, Jodie said in regards to Disney's lack of response to the Acolyte's reception. Quote, it's just not fair to not say anything. It's really unfair. Disney, though, they're not going to, because Disney are worried that if they jump in and start defending actors and start saying things in regards to bigotry and racism, that they're literally going to put fuel on the fire, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So I think they're of the mind where they'd rather just not say anything. Yeah, which I kind of understand to a point, because I would not want to jump in the middle of it. It would just make things a lot worse. Turner-Smith and Glamour must have also forgotten that Disney actually did do just that in regards to alleged racism surrounding Moses Ingram character in Obi-Wan. So, we have this post here. Let's check this out quickly. So, Star Wars said this: we are proud to welcome Moses Ingram to the Star Wars family and excited for Reva's story to unfold. If anyone intends to make her feel in any way unwelcome, we have only one thing to say: we resist. So it looks like Disney have, they have stuck up for their fans. They have stuck up for their series that they were making here with Moses Ingram. Basically, talking about racism. They didn't so much say, accuse anyone of anything, of, anyone being racist or bigots or anything like that. But it says, if they make anyone unwelcome, we have one thing to say: we resist. So, quote, it would be nice if people, it'd be nice if the people that have all the money, whether that be Disney or any studio, were showing their support and putting their feet down, Turner-Smith continued. Say this is unacceptable. You're not a fan if you do this. Make a really big statement and just see if any money leaves. I bet you it won't, because people of color, especially black people, make up a very large percentage of the buying power. They may find that it's actually more lucrative for them, but everyone's using woke like it's a dirty word. Opinions change. What's in vogue changes, she added. We're gonna get there at some point, to the place where people stop having a stick up their ass about people of color being part of the IPs that were created by white people. You know why? She asks. Because we're never going to stop participating. So again, I mean, coming out and making these comments, I get it if you got these comments, but coming out and making these comments, you're adding fuel to the fire, and it's just going to make things a lot worse. You're adding more controversy to the Star Wars brand. This is going to set people off more. The social media discourse is just going to get worse and worse and worse. And the next time a project from Star Wars comes out, instead of them actually talking about the series or movie that's coming out, people are just going to dogpile onto this kind of controversy about race and bigotry and all this kind of stuff. And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And Star Wars is just going to get completely covered in controversy like it already has been. The same thing's been happening with their other IPs as well. Obviously, the same thing's been happening with Marvel properties now. And it's just getting worse and worse for Disney over time. So, where are the racist Star Wars fans? So, following reading the article and interview, I went to Jodie Turner-Smith's Instagram page and expected to find thousands of posts with relentless torrents of racial abuse. What I found was just the opposite. I couldn't find a single racist comment or even a negative one. It's possible her PR team scrubbed the negative remarks, or perhaps the so-called racist comments represent a small minority, which is exactly what I was just saying. There is a very small minority that do that kind of thing, and we can't say there isn't, because there is. But if there is, then it's a very, very small minority, which I believe is more likely. In fact, all the comments I found were glowing, with fans even suggesting Jodie Turner-Smith should play Storm in the MCU and that they loved her. So let's go over to X and let's check out her social media and see if there in fact is any racist or bigotry comments. So Jodie Turner-Smith just called 80% of the Mandalorian fans racist. This is the way. That's a funny response. So going down here, strong is the shilling by Glamour Mag. So Glamour Mag did say this as well. The cast faced relentless torrents of racial abuse online from so-called fans who couldn't handle a black actor leading Star Wars series. So if we check out the social media here and the response, let's see what happened. So I can't find one negative comment on her Instagram, either when she posted the trailer. What a fucking joke. So if we look down here at the comments, we can't find one negative comment, one racial comment or anything like that on her social media. So when she talks about fans giving her a torrent of abuse and racial comments and stuff like that, it's not on her social media. So where are these comments that she's talking about? As we go down, look, congratulations, can't wait, congrats on the gig, chills. Go back to the previous page, come through, I can't wait. So do I need to watch any of the Star Wars films? This makes sense. Can't wait to see you in this role. Let's keep going. Yes, let's go. Oh my god, yes. Congrats, nice, love this for you, let's go. So yeah, I mean, when we look down on the social media comments, again, nothing but support. Again, let's go. No bigotry responses, no racial responses here whatsoever. So in regards to her comments about people being bigots and racists, what is she talking about? Nothing but support from her fans in her May the 4th be with you post. Another post where fans say nothing but good things about Jodie Turner-Smith. Again, looking through all these comments and and replies in response to her being in this show. Nothing to do with racism, nothing to do with bigotry. Nothing but support again. Where's the relentless torrents of racial abuse Jodie Turner-Smith faced? Again, it's not here. There's nothing to see. So we're really left confused as to what she's talking about. So blame the fans. It's something we've seen time and time again from the clueless people running Hollywood. They blame the fans for their failures instead of placing the blame where it belongs, on themselves. Variety also just put out a huge shill piece. Yeah, I mean, like I said at the beginning, their show was just awful. It was written badly, it was acted badly, it was cast badly. The runtime was awful. Just when it was getting to something interesting, it would fade to black. The set pieces looked awful. They spent over $200 million on this series. Where did the money go? If it didn't go on the show, was it like a money laundering scheme? Where did the money go? A lot of people are left confused about that. So if something is bad, and make no mistake, The Acolyte is bad, fans are labelled as racist simply because they don't like it. Do they realise that something like 75% of the fans watched The Mandalorian, didn't bother turning... Let me say that again. 75% of the fans that watched The Mandalorian didn't bother tuning into The Acolyte. Must be racism. So what is really going on? I think what is really going on is one of the type of shill articles and comments from the actors are meant to save face. It's an attempt to convince the studio that the reason for said failure isn't on them. Well, we did a good job, but the fans are racist, we need to change them. Instead of, yeah, we fucked it all up, let's fix it. At the same time, there are also those who want to validate their existence by blaming the fans instead of accepting the blame. How's that working out? So again, another day, another kind of blame of racism on the fans because they didn't like the show. Yeah, just because a black person was leading the show, or several black people were in the show or a movie, just because the fans don't like it doesn't mean we're bigots, it doesn't mean we're racist. Maybe we just didn't like the show, and maybe you should blame yourselves for the crap show and crap content you're putting out, rather than trying to blame us for being bigots and racists just because we didn't like your show. And it's absolutely crazy that these actors and actresses are coming out and making these ridiculous statements about the fan base, which is going to turn the fan base even more toxic when future projects come out. So I fear for the future of Star Wars. But guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this, and let me know what you think about Jodie Turner-Smith's comments here about the fan base being bigots and racists and all the rest of it. What do you think about it? Thanks so much for watching. Can't wait to hear your comments. Make sure you leave a comment down below, guys, with your thoughts, comments, and opinions. As always, can't wait to hear what you have to say. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to hit that like and notification bell before you leave so you can stay up to date with all the new videos we have. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.